So I saved money sharing from Lama Indians. Oh, cute little girl. I've seen what the girls are doing. They're able to travel and I want to travel. Life is uncertain anyway, so I'd rather pick my heart, and this is the heart that I choose. Hi guys, and welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Bufumelela. On this video, I want to share about how I got into travel and freelancing, and essentially how I got a job working online, how I continue to get jobs, how did I get into this. These are conversations that I've had with people on my personal platforms, whether it's through DMs or just comments. I really just want to create a video where I'm able to share these resources because I think it's so important that we share resources, and it would have been so nice for me to have access to these resources. And I'm tired of saying resources because I've been saying it so many times. But yeah, that's what this video is going to be about. I suck at intros, so let's go. The year is 2021. I'm working as a research intern at the film publication. Oh, it doesn't matter. Okay, so the year is 2021. I'm working as a research intern for a government regulator, and I had just graduated in 2020, but 2020 came because there was COVID. I wasn't able to get a job. No one did. Well, some people did. Beginning of 2021, May, I got my AS. It was like, okay, you get to have an internship. I moved to Pretoria. I was working in Centurion. Cute. I wasn't earning a lot of money as an intern, to be quite honest, but I was able to sustain myself. I was able to like rent a cute apartment in Sunnyside. Oh, and also the best thing was the fact that I was working from home, so I didn't spend a lot on transport. I was able to like spend money on rent, and then I was working from home, which is so cool. Oh, good times. If you think about it, life has all these tiny dots that just connect, and you're like, oh my god, because what am I doing now? Working remotely, because that was my first introduction to work. So I was working, it was a hybrid situation because of COVID, but like it was barely hybrid. I was just working from home. I'd go to the office once every 2 months. It was just coolest vibes, but not the point. The point is I was making that money, which was basically enough for me to sustain myself. And although I was so lucky to be introduced and work among people that were like so skilled and they were so good in what they were doing, I always had this bug, is what I'll call it, to travel and to see the world. I just didn't know how. I just couldn't like materialize about designs and lento. But luckily, even prior to that, I had been introduced to the concept of teaching English abroad. But even then, I was not able to afford the process that it takes, because it's an expensive process to go and teach English. So I put it at the back of my mind and just was like, okay, eventually at some point it's gonna pick up. So now it's 2021. I'm working as a research intern, and I'm like, it's fun, it's cute. I'm not feeling satisfied, and I think I'll call this the 1 year itch. After a year, wherever I go, I'm just like, wrap it up. I need to do something else. So now we are nearing the end of the first year. We're going into the second year. I'm only earning the 1,000 rand. I'm like, I don't feel like I'm progressing towards anything. I'm getting this experience, it's cool, but there's so much bureaucracy in working for the government. I'm never gonna get to a high paying job soon enough. I'm probably gonna get there by 30 years old. It's very unlikely that I'm gonna go into corporate because I have a humanities degree. I'm in South Africa. Like, what are the odds? I can't afford to go back to school to do my honors degree. Let me just take whatever money I'm making here and let me just start the process of going to teach English in Korea, because then I'd be able to earn a lot more money, I'd be able to save, and I'd be able to travel, which were 3 things that were very important to me at the time, especially the traveling part. I was like, if I work in Korea, I've seen what the girls are doing. They're able to travel, and I want to travel, and I want to see the world. Come on. Towards the end of my second year, I was actively applying to teach in Korea, with the primary reason being that I wanted to travel. And I mean, teaching in Korea, there's so much more to it. The travel is just a tiny part of it, but I mean, oh fuck, I'm having cramps. Travel is just a tiny part of it because you do spend most of your days teaching, like Monday to Friday, and then if you're lucky enough on Saturday, if you're not tired, you're able to travel. But still, it was a lot more than I was doing in South Africa. So I saved money sharing from Lama Indians. Oh, cute little girl. I saved some money to apply for the process of teaching English abroad in South Korea. I actually sacrificed my graduation because UJ called us back, Tina class of 2020. They're like, oh, you guys can graduate this year. But I was like, you know what, let me just, whatever money I was going to spend on that graduation, and then yeah, it was cute, whatever. I started teaching. At first it was hard, and then eventually I got the hang of it. Now I'm like, yes, I'm traveling on weekends, even just locally within the country. I'm not leaving. I was introduced to the world of travel now. I'm learning what it takes to create an itinerary, how to book a bus, what comes first, booking that comment. Like, I just feel like I was learning my identity as a traveler. It's so cute. I just didn't know anything, and yet all these things, I guess, were preparing me for now. And then naturally, as we said, I have this 1 year itch. After a year, I was like, I'm teaching English in South Korea, and yeah, I think I'm good at it, but there has to be more. Like, what's going to happen after this? I know for a fact I don't want to do a PGCE because I don't want to be a teacher for the rest of my life. I do know that I want the kind of job that's going to allow me to travel, but it cannot be teaching. Like, there has to be more to it. Like, what else can you do? So by the beginning of the second year, I started saving. To be quite honest, in my first year I wasn't saving a lot. I was barely saving. I was just having a good time. I didn't be below Mali, but a time was had. And then second year, I was like, I'm actively trying to save so that I'd be able to travel. I just want to travel. I just want to see the world. I just want to travel. I want the kind of job that's going to allow me to travel, because I'd fallen in love with it now thanks to teaching abroad, which was very intentional because that's something I wanted to do, but it was just a whole different experience now. And I'm like, I can't do this. I'm seeing a lot more creators doing it. Bobby was doing it. Now I'm at this place where I'm like, I can make this a reality. So I was like, I'm saving money. I'm going to be traveling Africa. So now the year is January 2024. Yes. January 2024, it's my second year in Korea. I just started a new contract, and I was very intentional about the fact that whatever money I'm gonna make, I'm gonna be able to travel. Now, mind you, the only plan I had at the time was that I just really didn't have a solid plan, but I knew that this is what I wanted to do. I'm gonna save, and if the money goes away, then I don't know. I didn't have a solid plan until the end of 2024, which then I was doing a lot more research, like just trying to think of what jobs can I do that are going to allow me to travel and I can work from anywhere. And then I was reintroduced to social media, which is ironically something I had wanted to do even before I worked as an intern. But now I was like, oh my God, it makes sense. Let me do social media and social media marketing and just social media management, just virtual digital jobs that are not scammy, but like practical. At this point, it is towards the end of the year, and I figured I could easily be like, oh, I know social media, let me just try and find clients, but I wanted to feel a lot more secure. And this is where the work came in. I used a platform called Coursera. Maybe at some point they might sponsor me. I use a platform called Coursera, which they have all these courses, guys, that are just only for 400 rands a month. You can do unlimited courses. It's actually crazy how cheap it is. And I think it's so cool for just even upskilling in whatever career that you're in. It's just, even if you're not upskilling, just to learn a new skill, it's just always so fun. So I went to Coursera. I applied for social media management because as much as I was a social media user, I wanted to learn about what it takes to actually manage people's accounts. I wanted to feel a lot more confident in the field. I did the short course and I was like clean. And then even as I was doing that, I continued to like do other courses, digital marketing foundations, whatever. This is even before I had left Korea, because I knew for a fact that I'm gonna leave this country. And I just want to give a shout out to a YouTuber. I'm gonna link her below, Kayla, who like really has been such an instrumental part of me realizing, well, okay, like it doesn't have to be hard, it doesn't have to be perfect. You can just try and do it. She was in a similar journey to mine. She's an American. She was teaching in Taiwan. She did something very similar. And so when I saw her journey, I was like, oh, fag. Okay. It like became so much clearer, which essentially is what I'm trying to do for you too, if you are in the same position. Did the social media management course. I'm still in Korea at the time. My contract is coming to an end. And I knew, but okay, as soon as it comes to an end, I need to be ready. And thanks to a whole lot of YouTube, I was then introduced to freelancing platforms, because even as much as I was doing the social media course, I think at the time I didn't even understand why I'm trying to, if I'm a client, whatever, but I knew that this is what I want to do. Then I was introduced to the world of freelance platforms, which is Fiverr and Upwork. Gotta like it down below. And this is essentially where all the freelancers are able to get social media just freelancing jobs in general. Eventually, I went back home to South Africa. I had set up my profile for Upwork. I had gotten all these calls. I was upskilling, and I was like, okay, I'm just gonna stay home for a while. It's now 2025. It's January. I just got back home at the end of December 2024. It's January. I'm at home. Gave myself a month to be with my family. I'm in the boat. I'm like, okay, let me relax. And then by the second month, I was actively back on Upwork, recreating my profile, trying to get clients. And that's where I got my first client, which I was managing their social media. It was an American client. It was my first introduction to it. And I think, honestly, I'm so grateful for that, because my first client, I was managing everything. I was overseeing graphics. I wasn't getting a lot of money, but I think it was fair enough, because that job introduced me like, well, okay, because now I had to learn like managing projects, and I needed to learn like creating a strategy. Like I was overseeing everything, and I kind of lowballed myself. Like I really was earning a small amount of money for longer hours, which once you get into the freelancing thing, you really realize how time is your most precious commodity. That was my first client, and I was managing their social media. And now I had these savings that I had from Korea, which I knew, but I'm going to travel. I don't care. The money can run out, but the memories are never going to run out. Like I'm here in this life, I want to live. I'm like, I'm not going to be spending my money on, I'm just working for the rest of my life. I know for a fact this is what I want to do. So I now had the savings, and I was back in South Africa. I think there was still that confusion. I don't know how. I knew I wanted to travel. So now I'm torn between, do I travel Africa? Because remember, at the time, while I was in Korea, at the beginning of my second year, I had imagined that I'd be traveling Africa. Obviously, I'm here in Africa. And honestly, I had tried, but then it was summer, and maybe, okay, I'll just create another video about why Asia. I'll create another video because now I don't want to confuse you. But I started by trying to travel within South Africa. I was like, I'm here now. I've never traveled at home because I never had the money. Now I have some money to be able to travel at home. And I think the experience was very different from when I was traveling in Korea, as far as safety, as far as accessibility. If you don't have a car, it's very difficult to travel in South Africa. I'd visited Eastern Cape, a rural village, which I'd always wanted to do from a young age. It's a coastal village. I did it. It was so nice. And then I traveled to Cape Town. And I think by then I just realized, but I don't know if I'm very comfortable with traveling South Africa, because if you don't have a car, sort of will work, because public transport is absolutely shitty. It's not safe, the public transport in the country. So that was when I decided, after I was still in Cape Town with my sister, and I was like, I'm not doing this shit. Like, I'm traveling and I'm going to travel Southeast Asia. I've been to Asia, I've traveled Asia. I had been to Southeast Asia, I traveled to Vietnam. And I was like, I'm just gonna travel Southeast Asia. I'm a lot more familiar with that place. I've been in Korea for 2 years. It's so much more safer. And I was like, okay, we're gonna get the ball rolling. At the time, I have a client, an Upwork client. I had another client which didn't last long. But now I'm not working fully as a teacher, but I've transitioned into working as a freelancer. I wasn't making a lot of money, but I also had this saving, and that's essentially how I started this journey. And I was able to go to Thailand. I'm in Thailand now, by the way. I was able to then book a ticket. I scanned for the cheapest ticket. Because I was flexible with time, I could choose a ticket anytime during the year. And that's what I'm realizing about the life that I'm living and the life that I want. I see what's my biggest asset is really my time. Topic for another day. But like, I found the cheapest flight out of the country. I literally didn't know. I'm a poor planner. I call myself like a type C personality. Like, I'm just all over the place. So I was like, between Thailand or Philippines or Indonesia, whatever, here in Southeast Asia, whichever's the cheapest country to go to from South Africa, that's where I'm gonna land. In Thailand, I got a ticket for 5,000 Rand, and that's essentially how my journey started. And since then, I've been balancing between my savings, which have since run out. They're not there anymore, and getting remote jobs from Upwork and others, just people that I'm getting from. I have a social media page that I have to go back to. Yeah, that's how I've been able to sustain my travels. I've been in Thailand now for 2 months. I traveled to Thailand, I landed in Thailand, and then after a month, the plan was to travel, like, stay in each country. When I started this journey, I thought I was gonna go home after 3 months, but then after I came here, I was like, if I'm working online, I really am not in a rush to go home. And so I was in Thailand for a month, then I traveled to Cambodia. I thought I was gonna stay long. I hated. I returned to Thailand. I've been in Thailand for about 3 months now. Actually, in about 2 weeks, I will be moving on to my next destination. I'll be making another video about how I managed to stay in Thailand for this long, because I was in and out of the country. At some point, I extended my visa, and with resources such as WORLDPACKERS, I've been able to supplement my stays within all the countries that I moved to, where I'm able to balance, where I can use WORLDPACKERS to stay at some accommodations for free. I'll also link my WORLDPACKERS code if you want to sign up with WORLDPACKERS in order to be able to travel anywhere in the world and stay at accommodations for free. And all you have to do is volunteer skills. As I maneuver this journey, I'm not making a lot of money yet. I'm not making this dream salary that I have in mind, which honestly is not a lot of money, but I'm still not making as much money as I was making in Korea, but I have a lot more peace of mind. In the next video, I think I'm going to be discussing about how I ended up staying in Thailand for like 120 days, I don't know at this point, like over 3 months. It's not easy, but it's certainly worth it, and I love it, and it brings me so much joy, as uncertain as it is. And I think life is as certain anyway, so I'd rather pick my heart, and this is the heart that I choose. Again, I don't want to waffle, but I was also thinking about the kind of traveler that I am, and I think I'm still trying to find my identity. So I'm really hoping that you come along on this journey as I try to learn about who I am and what kind of traveler that I am, and things that I love and things that I don't love. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. I really hope to see you in the next video. Love you loads, and